Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock. And yes, Kizzy Rock is my birth given name. Happy Wednesday. I want to say hey to all my subscribers, new as well as season. I got a word for you. Tap in. Happy Wednesday, guys. I missed you guys. It's so great to be back. I just got back home from a 7-day vacation, 8 o'clock last night, so I'm still tired. But I wanted to just jump on really quickly. And I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you to those of you who've commented, email, as well as text me. I couldn't answer my phone. I was roaming. But I read every single one of your messages because you took time out of your day to celebrate mine. If you know me, then you know it's the small things that matter to me. I got some great gifts, don't get me wrong. I don't want to discount that, but it's the small things. So I thank you, thank you, thank you. Your words just, I had no idea, honey. Like, y'all really checking for your girl like that. So grateful. I want to speak to you guys about a couple of different things. I got so much downloads, so it's going to have to be spread out, of course, throughout the week, maybe even weekend. But today, I just want to speak to you guys really quickly about a few things. One, I want to start with the importance of paying attention to your convictions when you're disconnected. I want to speak to you guys about the demonic realm is just demonicking. Like, let me just tell you, they're so petty. They're not going to give up, so you can't give up either. And then also, some of you guys may start to feel a shift, like God is pulling you from a different direction. That could be the enemy who's trying to pull you away from the promise, or that could just be God needs you to start working on something else right now while he handle some things, because the demonic realm already caused some chaos somewhere. So he may be handling some things, but he may need you to be doing certain things. It's a partnership. So it's very important to make sure that you're tap in to know what is God asking you to do right now, like right now. But sometimes what happens is you can get so focused and tunnel vision on the promise itself that you're missing the things that God is asking you to do. See, you can't, there's nothing you can do to make the promise happen, right? That's only a job from God. But there are certain things that you're going to have to get tapped in where you're make sure that you're in partnership and you're paying attention to what God needs you to be working on. So really quickly, let's start about this the disconnect transparent moment. Let me just tell you, honey, I got convicted about 137,000 times because it's like, see, we be sitting here thinking that when these doors open, we know what's on the other side, and oh, it's going to be cute, and I'm going to be connected every single day. I'm going to be plugged in every single day. I'm not going to forget about child. Please, it's easy to say that because you're in a season of, let it be wilderness or isolation. So you don't have nothing else to do anyway. You're just plugged in. But when God starts opening certain doors, you're going to have people who are honoring you. You're going to have people who are celebrating you. You're going to get mixed up in the chaos of it all. And what happens is it takes a second, literally a second, to unplug, and you're completely disconnected. We're human. God knows that. That's why our behinds be sitting longer than we think, right? Because he knows what's on the other side. So he may even open the door, give you a glimpse of it just to see how you're going to do. So sometimes God let you in the room and he throw you right on back where you came from because he knows that it's going to be detrimental if he doesn't condition you a certain way. Now, for me, one good thing about me is that I don't care where I am, honey. I can be in the middle of a pool party. If I feel a conviction, then I move on that conviction. I don't just try to ignore it and be like, oh, that wasn't for me. No, that was for me. Time to go, point blank, period, right? And then I'll get back connected. So we're human beings. So, we're not going to get it right 100% of the time, right? We're just not. I'm having a flashback. I have a friend, a great friend. She's much more spiritually inclined than I am. God opened the door for us some years ago, honey. We went somewhere, and the next day we just talk about. She's like, Kizzy, I failed. I know without a doubt. I'm not even in denial. I failed this test, right? So it's crazy on how God will literally open a door and he will test you. Either he's going to see if you're going to flop completely, or he's going to see if you're obedient enough that when you get that conviction, you're going to go ahead and follow the conviction and get back plugged in. Because then once you get back plugged in, then it makes it easier to stay plugged in. But when you disconnect and then you're ignoring the convictions, oh honey, you're doomed. So it's so important. It's so important that we stay plugged in, or again, we follow our convictions. Also, I want to speak about the demonic realm, honey. Let me just tell you, these folks or these spirits, they're just, they're so strategic, right? You can feel like at some point everything is settled, or not settled, you can't never get that comfortable, but you feel like things are like under your feet almost, and then they hit you someplace else. They hit you constantly from a different angle. Again, that can look like they're attacking your family in some kind of way, right? But now what's going on, they're starting to cause strife. They're putting confusion in other people's heads and things like that. So the people, these can be people who are going to help get you in certain doors. These can be people who are in the promised land, things like that. The demonic realm is causing confusion, where it's making people look at you side-eye, where it's causing all kind of chaos. So if you're not careful, you start trying to feed into that thing. You're trying to defend yourself. You're trying to like look at somebody side-eye because they're looking at you side-eye. No. When you do that, you give it more energy. When you give it more energy, then it takes it, and then it just everything. You're giving them fuel. So just stand. Take those hits. Just stand. Your job is to trust God. This is why staying plugged in is important, because God will literally give you certain downloads and tell you how to move, when to move, what to say, what to not say. Don't say anything. I got this. I just need you to stand firm and know that I got this. I need you to just take whatever you're feeling, take that thing and just feel it, but trust and believe that you will have the victory. But they're very, very strategic. And what's happening now is that a lot of people are starting to just feel like it's not worth it. It's too hard, right? Because they're attacking your finances, they're attacking your family, they're causing confusion, they're attacking your emotions. You feel depressed one day you feel joyful and hopeful. The next day you're full of despair. They're hitting you in all kind of directions. You're literally in the middle of fire right now, because this is how close many of you are. This is the point where a lot of people will truly give up, because it's that difficult. You will really start to feel like it's not even worth it. But it is. It is. You just got to stand. I think we're wearing ourselves out because we're trying to do things in the physical realm. You're trying to prove yourself. You're trying to defend yourself. You're trying to iron out this confusion. No, just right now, just stand. God will make it clear to you if He needs you to do something. So many of you are getting hit. You're getting hit. Lastly, I want to speak about some of you are going to start to feel a shift. Now, again, this shift could be, from a small group of people, I don't know, maybe none, but take it back to God, where God needs you to work on certain things right now, because maybe you have been hearing some things, but it wasn't from the spiritual realm, right? This is not for everybody, so please don't be disappointed, right? Where he's starting to shift you, because maybe it was your wants, your desires, right? It was never him, but it was something that you yourself wanted, and you concocted this whole idea of a promise, but God was never really in that. That was more your flesh, right? So you may start to feel a shift, because God needs you to be a certain place where He's going to really give you the blessing in the breakthrough that has always been for you, from Him, not from you, right? But then there's most of you, maybe all, who know that you know that you know that you know, because you've been in this process for so long, and God have confirmed it 5,327 times. You've been in the process. You can't even go anywhere else if you wanted to. You know that you know that you know. Well, again, the demonic realm is they're shooting fire. They're shooting fire right now. So it may be that God needs you to be working on something else, right? God may need you to be, whatever it is, you got to be so plugged in, because He's going to give you a strategic move. He's going to give you a strategic move. And that can look like a number of things, but of course, everybody's situation is different. But be sure you're plugged in, because let me tell you something, honey. They're trying it. Again, if they're not attacking your family, they're attacking your money, they're attacking your emotions, they're attacking everything. That's how you know that you know that you know how close you are, literally. So don't give up at the last second. You're already here. You guys have a great one. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.